Hello guys, today we're gonna discover the heart of the South America, Republic of Paraguay.
Paraguay is a land of the striking contrasts. Here you will find the government buildings and national monuments standing right next to the slums. In the same city, grand and beautiful palaces share the streets with ruined and abandoned houses, all in the same neighborhood. But venture in the countryside, and you will discover untamed jungles, home to jaguars and pumas. This country also has some of the lowest prices in the entire region. And in 2024 alone, Paraguay welcomed more than 2 million of the tourists. But why?
Well, stick around, because in this video we are uncovering what exactly makes Paraguay so unique.
In this video, you will see the jungles of the South America, the slums and the national treasures of Asuncion, the riverside of Encarnacion, the ruins of the ancient colony, the money laundry capital of Paraguay, and the wonderful spirit of the continent. But before we begin, here are 5 boring facts about Paraguay. Paraguay is one of only 2 landlocked countries in both Americas. Population of Paraguay is just around 6 million people, just the same as in a big European city. Paraguay has 2 official languages, Spanish and language of local natives, Guarani. The currency is also called Guarani. As of April of 2025, it's about 8,000 Guarani per dollar. Fun fact, Paraguay's flag is the world's only 2-sided national flag with different designs on the front and the back sides. Let's kick the things off in Paraguay, starting with its capital and the largest city, Asuncion. Alright, what could I tell you about Asuncion? Honestly, I didn't expect too much from the city before arriving. I did my research, but reality, it's chaotic. Most neighborhoods feel neglected, with cracked sidewalks and houses behind 3-meter fences, topped with barbed wire. Architecturally, there is no cohesive style, just a jumble of buildings from different eras, all in varying states of decay. There is a small historical center, but in the area of 2 main streets only. But the real story here is contrast. And these contrasts are wild. Government palaces loom over adjacent slums. In the city center, you'll find the maintained monuments, and then turn a corner to see the hollowed-out buildings left to rot for no obvious reason. Infrastructure in the city is raw. 2 broken pavements, trash piles, and good luck with sightseeing, when every property is barricaded behind the fences. It feels like the entire city is hiding in bunkers. But here's the twist. At night, ugliness vanishes, darkness hides the chaos, and suddenly, you kinda like it. And now, a couple of words about the slums. Avoid them. These are not tourist-friendly favelas. These are no-go zones, where even police won't go. I was warned for many times. Robbery and kidnapping risks are real. Truthfully, in Asuncion are only 2 areas feel worth visiting. The first one is teeny historical center with its monuments, and the second one, Villamora, the well-kept mansions, shopping malls and expats. It's actually pretty clean and safe. The rest just unremarkable and potentially dangerous areas for foreigners. So yeah, Asuncion is complicated.
Guess what we just stumbled upon? We got here in the middle of the celebration of their Paraguayan Independence Day. So I have to show you how the locals celebrate their Independence Day around. So here we go.
All this event gonna continue for 2 days. But actually, there is nothing really special. Just a few parks were opened for public events and activities. The food tents, music, and a lot of people chilling out there. But outside of the parks, there is nothing much to see or to do. Police and soldiers are everywhere, on each corner, especially next to the slums, keeping security. Around the only touristical attractions, there are many lines and groups of tourists. But the rest of the Asuncion looks like always. No flags, no banners, nothing at all. A weird holiday.
If you find yourself stuck in Asuncion for whatever reason, here are the only attractions worth enough for checking out.
Palacio Lopez. The Presidential Palace. Doesn't look fascinating much, but it's a pretty old historical building. Cabildo. The old parliament building made in colonial style. Since 2004 is a museum. Panteón Nacional. A former church turned a tomb. Houses 14 unknown soldiers and 2 presidents, plus their family members. Costanera. The riverfront promenade, surprisingly clean, with nice grass and absolutely nothing to do. But the local beach looks more like a weird sandpit. Casa de la Independencia. The building where Paraguay's independence was done, but looks like just a small colonial house with a teeny museum part. Asuncion Central Railway Station, the most interesting landmark of the old town.
This is the Asuncion Central Railway Station behind me. It looks beautiful, almost tragic because no trains have run from here in 25 years.
But today it's just a museum, with empty platforms where trains, unfortunately, will never arrive again. There is something oddly poetic about it. History frozen in time. For just $1 entry fee, you can wander the silent halls and imagine the echoes of departures that will never happen. But let's switch to something more positive and talk about prices that could make you feel a little bit jealous. The food and basic stuff here is really cheap. Bread here costs about 30-40 cents per pack. A liter of milk, less than $1. Meat, about $3-5 for a kilogram. The local prices make living here too economical to be real. About the taxes. Paraguay doesn't take taxes for foreign incomes, and for local incomes, tax is just about 10% only. What makes Paraguay ideal for tax residency? About migration. Paraguay is the easiest country to migrate in the entire world. To get residence here, you don't need to prove anything. You don't need to show your passive income or to make some investments or deposits in banks. Just show up here, bring some basic documents with you, and in 3-6 months you'll get your ID card. And you are not obligated to live here. It's enough to visit country once a year to save your resident status. That's why so many people visit Paraguay every year. So, if you are a freelancer or if you get some passive income and you want to live cheap, this country could be an option. Yeah, it's all nice, but the real magic begins when you leave the urbanized areas and reach the countryside. The Paraguayan nature looks absolutely innocent. The real nature is quite far from the cities, and you need to ride some hours to get there, but it's what I truly recommend. The local landscapes worth enough to pay attention to them.
By the way, me and my awesome friend Lucas, subscribe his channel, he's an awesome guy, gonna discover the wild nature and landscapes of Paraguay. And for this purpose, we rented a car. And now we are going to discover the savage nature of the South American heart.
The first point of our destination is Epakarai Lake. It's the largest lake in the whole country, and also a nice and peaceful chill zone in 30 minutes to ride from Asuncion. The place is absolutely peaceful and calm. When we went, we've not seen many people, just a peaceful park zone near from water. The zone we came in is pretty short, and the park is not that large, but it's good enough to see and to feel the peaceful vibe and to enjoy the nature. Unfortunately, we came from the wrong side of the lake, and it was quite impossible to get a refreshing swim experience, and the water was actually too dirty to even try. So, just for a walk, it was nice. And the next stop is the Ecological Reserve Bat. This area has the best landscapes of the country, mountain views, the wild nature and the jungles of course. Actually, it was very hard to find a location to see this place, especially from the good point. So, we spent some hours riding around until we found a position marked as Mirador. It was quite far from the road, just a kind of walkway in the jungles, and after some 100 meters, we reached an awesome location with the best view on this place. The jungles cover the rocks and mountains, as far as an eye can see. It's a really impressive and fascinating place, with the views have to be must-seen. By the way, it's pretty far from Asuncion and has no infrastructure at all, so if you want to ride there, you need a car for sure. A bit far from there, you can catch the beautiful fields and the plains with mountain views on the background. It reminds some African savanna in the moment, just looking for some animals, to be a real one. And next, we wish to stay a night in the nature and to make some camping. Expectations were high, since here is such a nature and landscapes. We just wished to stop somewhere, to put some tent on the ground, to make some fire and stuff, but found out there is no free area at all.
For a night we desired to stay in the nature, to make a camp and to continue the road tomorrow. Well, if you want to do some camping here, I'm not sure it's the best idea, because the most of the places, the most of the nature of the camps are just surrounded by the fences, so you won't be able to touch the nature, just sightseeing, that's all. To find some place, some camping, it's very hard here. It's not really common to camp in this country. So we've spent about 3 hours to find some place, and we finally found some parking, like in the middle of nowhere, in some village, somewhere far away from the city, from the civilization. So it's not a good idea to camp here.
As I said, there are not many camping areas. The most of the space in the countryside is taken for some ranches, especially in the area we've been in. In the end, when it was dark already, we found some random empty spot near from some mountain. The ground was rocky and hard. It's not the best camping area at all. We were exhausted and we got there's no other option and just stayed there. Made some fire, built our tent,
had some improvised dinner from fried stuff mostly, and tried to fall asleep.
Well, it was a hard day. We finally reached the camp tent and now I've fallen asleep, so see you tomorrow.
The next morning, we woke up too early and found ourselves in a beautiful natural area. Actually, we got lucky and catch some sunset, which was absolutely wonderful in this place.
Well, I suppose it was worth now to spend the night in this kind of place, to catch this kind of beauty in the morning.
Okay, it's 7 AM and we are in the middle of nowhere. just packing our stuff and gonna back to the road.
After a poor breakfast and the worst camping experience ever, we got back on the road, and the really long ride was waiting for us. At least, on the road we catch some nice landscapes to film, and made the trip more enjoyable. After almost 5 hours of ride, we finally got to the next stop.
Now, we reach the next point of our destination, the city on the border of Argentina, Encarnacion.
Well, it's one of the largest cities in the entire country, and I can't really say something good or bad about this place. In my opinion, it's absolutely empty. It has a nice and clean promenade, and riverside beaches on the brown waters. It has a good view to the Argentinian side, to Posada city, but besides of the promenade and a couple of small beaches, there is absolutely nothing to see and nothing to do. But besides of a couple of squares, it doesn't have anything interesting. You won't find no special architectural sites or some awesome landscapes, so you won't lose much if you'll skip this place.
Now we go to a very special place, the ancient ruins of the Jesuit colony, La Santísima Trinidad. This place was found in 17th century, like a colony of the Jesuit order to turn the native Guaranis to Christianity. Nowadays, the place is just ruined, but also this place is protected by UNESCO as the World Heritage Site.
It was a normal practice for the missionaries and colonial rulers to make the population loyal to the new powers. There were many this kind of colonies in the past, but until nowadays, not many survived. Now, the ruins of the colonies are open-air museums. The entry ticket for a foreigner costs about $6, and it also allows to fly a drone over there for free. If you have some, I really recommend to take one. The show is one of the best I've seen in this country. You can touch and feel the spirit of this place yourself. The buildings are seriously damaged, but you're able to enter to the most of them, to the houses where lived the natives and missionaries, the temples they built, and I can only imagine how great the buildings were in these times, and how they impressed then, if they still do now. If you find yourself in the area, it's my recommendation. When we got done with the ruins, we went back to the road. The 5 hours long ride to the next spot on the map was quite hard, but finally, in the end we came to the last city we planned to visit.
Right now I'm staying in Ciudad del Este. It's the city on the border with Brazil. So today we're going to cross the border and visit the other side and the waterfalls of Iguasu.
But before departure, a couple of words about the city. This zone is completely different by the sights I've seen in the previous towns. The place reminds me some ghetto, you know. Ciudad del Este is known for the lowest prices in the area, but also as a crime and money laundering capital of Paraguay. It's better to avoid walking around the city alone, especially in the night time. The robbery is a normal deal here. The main street of the town looks like a large mall. They are everywhere, so if you want to buy something for the lowest price, this place is ideal, but otherwise there is nothing else to see or to do.
Right now we're going to take taxi and cross the border with Brazil to get to Foz do Iguaçu. That's so weird. We just took a taxi and driver just drove us directly to Brazilian side. Right now we are in Brazil, but we didn't pass border, so we just crossed it on the car with no any borders or why, so I don't know. It seems quite weird, but I hope there is not a problem.
We reached the Iguasu Waterfalls National Park, but the park was closed for some marathon events this day and no tickets were sold. But we figured it out.
So we came to Iguasu waterfalls, but unfortunately it's a Sunday and there's some marathon inside, so we couldn't enter. It's impossible to buy tickets and enter there. And we just decided to get a helicopter tour around the waterfalls. So let's check it out. It was the first time I flew the helicopter, so for me it was incredible. And the waterfalls and these jungles, so if you get here, I really recommend this tour. It's very expensive, it's about 120 bucks for a person, and there are they take some pictures, it's kind of robbery, you know, like they take pictures, videos of the trip, and you have to pay for this. It's kind of, you can just deny and leave out, but the quality of pictures is fucking nice, and so my experience was completely amazing, so I recommend it to everyone.
Then we took a taxi and got back to the border.
Now we got back to Brazil-Paraguay border and gonna turn back right now, so see you in Paraguay. So now we got back to Paraguay from Brazil. It was an amazing trip. I recommend everyone to visit the Brazilian side, the waterfalls, the Iguazu National Park. It's worth visiting, so you won't regret it at all.
And after an amazing trip, we were on the road back to Asuncion.
So now we went back to Asuncion. Your trip is over. So thank you for watching. Put likes and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more and if you like the video. So see you the next time. Bye.